fan of Beyond the Podcast of 1984? Then be sure to subscribe to the show. Get early access to episodes by becoming a paid subscriber for only 75 cents a week. You might want that paid subscription now. Season 3 of the podcast is about to launch. That's right. Season 3 of Beyond the Podcast of 1984 premieres on BCA's birthday on June 18th. It's a special episode where BCA sits down and has a conversation with his producer and how they met, auditioning for a movie being shot in Spokane, Washington in 1993. What was the movie? Great question. Check out the episode and find out, did either of them get the roles they were auditioning for? And why were they auditioning for that movie? Find out in the episode. It's the first guest on the show with more to come in Season 3. Get early access to Season 3 episodes for $3 a month. At the very least, please be sure to subscribe to the show. And if you want to take it a step further, leave us a review. BCA wants to hear from you. Be sure to leave a message on the podcast website at btpo1984.buzzsprout.com. You can find Beyond the Podcast of 1984 photos, videos, and merch on the podcast website at btp1984.com. BCA and Beyond the Podcast of 1984 is coming back soon. Mark it on your calendar and add it to your show lineup. June 18th, the day the BCA comes out to play.
Welcome to the time machine, the one that rocks you back to a time more free. The it is now you see what you crave and so much more. It's Beyond the Podcast of 1984. Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Bizarre Alien, and I was told that I need to get a little chipper. And you know what? I actually don't need to be told that because I am chipper. I'm here with one of my very best friends in the world, Mr. Timothy Matson. It's been over a year, but Beyond the Podcast of 1984 is back. And we have a very, very special episode for you. Maybe a little, what's that right word when you're kind of giving a warning about something? What is that called? I can't remember. I'm drinking decaf, man. A disclaimer. If you're a really big fan of Benny and Joon and you're one of those unapologetic fans, especially someone that lives in Spokane, Washington, I think it's the greatest film in the world, you're probably not going to like this. But you might also laugh. So without further ado, yes, this is me, the Bizarre Alien, and my pal, Tim Matson.
Hey, how you doing there?
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
And I've really been looking forward to doing this episode with you for a very long time.
Same, man. I think it's nice to be on the show. It's nice to hear an extra voice in addition to yours. Which which is crazy because I'm referencing my voice, so I don't know how good I sound.
Well, you sound pretty toasty. You sound very lovely, my friend. Very nice, you know.
Thank you. That's sweet.
It's funny. We sound like we're in the same room, but we're not. We're separated like 10 million miles.
And question for you, because not question. You kind of, if you're listening, I guess you already know what the movie is.
And oh boy, we got stories for you guys and gals. So in 1992, May 1st, I moved to Spokane. My uncle set me up because I lived in Idaho for about 4 years, and I lived there years ago before, quite a few times with my grandparents. So, because you know how life is sometimes, you just end up living with your grandparents. A lot of people have done that, and it was really, really good for me. Anyways, my uncle was worried that I was going to turn into a tree. He wanted to set me up, so he's like, "Hey, move me out to the city." All day we looked around, finally found an apartment, moved here, and it was exactly May 1st, 1992. I had 3 months to find a job and all this stuff. So in the meantime, he was buying me food, he was paying my bills, all that stuff, paying my rent. I think this was right before I got my very first job. I saw something in the newspaper, and I'm wondering where you saw it at, if it was in the newspaper also. I think it was either the Chronicle or the Spokesman Review. I'm pretty sure it was in the newspaper. But there was a notification saying that they were looking for people to try out for a film that was going to be shot in Spokane. And this was in the early summer of 1992. And I thought, why not? Because I've had fantasies, I mean, who hasn't of being an actor? So I just figure, what the heck? Why not? This might be neat. Oh, man, I could become an actor. I ended up getting on a bus. I got the address. Of course, I had the newspaper clipping on me. And I caught the bus, and it was downtown. I thought it was going to be way out in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't. It was actually, I think it was somewhere downtown. And then I stood there in line, and I saw this guy standing there and this gal, really cute goth gal. I was like, wow. I mean, she was definitely a standout. Jet black hair, looked kind of like, oh man, my brain's right now. Sorry. What's her name? People are going to laugh. You hear this like, oh, that's what's her name? Lydia from Beetlejuice. And then this tall, kind of, and I will say it's not an insult, hilarious, goofy looking guy. That I immediately liked. It's like, this guy looks cool. He looks like a friend I would have had in high school. And she looked like this kind of beautiful, exotic goth rock girl. Anyways, long story short, we started talking, and we've been friends ever since.
That's right.
So if you want to tell your story, and then we can get to the part about
sure.
What happened after with trying out for the movie. So,
yeah. So I think you're right. It was in the paper because I think around that time I was trying out a business selling CDs and cassettes. I had access to the catalogs, and so I started a business called The Abyss, and I was running an ad in the paper. And because of that, I was checking out, my ad, and then I guess at the same time had come across the ad for audition, come on down and audition for Benny and Joon, which actually was at the corner of Riverfront Park, where I don't know if you guys have the Radio Flyer cart still there or the wagon, but basically that's the corner essentially. And we had to cross the street because I think at that building there is where they were hosting auditions. But as we were standing in line, I was standing in line with Stephanie, and she's a friend of ours who Adam and I had met years before, and I forgot exactly how that had
I think a few years before I met you guys. Well, definitely, because I met you guys in 92.
Yeah, and in regards to 92, yep, I was still in high school. So
wow, and you guys had just graduated or something, I think, because it was summer of 92.
Yep. For me, I graduated a little later, only because there was some hijinks for me, so it got stretched a little. But I still graduated with my diploma.
Some hijinks, buddy. I didn't know about that. We're gonna learn something about Mr. Matson here today.
Yeah. But anyway, in regards to the movie and auditioning, when I saw they were they were open to auditions, I decided why not. And because, I think they had did they mention that it was, Johnny Depp? And I think that's that at the time, because we're all familiar with him with Edward Scissorhands and
Crybaby.
Yeah. Or dude,
that was my introduction.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Nightmare on Elm Street was and you know what? Okay. Just on a side note real fast. That scene still makes me really sad because he was a nice character. What happened to him was
he was a nice boy.
Brutal. I know all the girls are crying like, oh, they killed Johnny Depp. I'm sure a lot of dudes out there too, because the man, he's a handsome man. He had an appeal for.
He's still handsome. He's so handsome that he's still marketing his cologne.
And can I say this real fast? Hi, ladies. Welcome to the Johnny Depp special. The dude is great. Seriously. Anybody? I'm not a promoter of the band. Yes, I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan. If you ever get a chance, check out the band that Johnny Depp's in. Oh my God, they're so good. Hollywood Vampires are so good. I got their first album last year. It is really good. Johnny Depp is that's what people don't understand. Yeah, he's an actor. He's like a male model, blah, blah, blah. Commercials, all that, right? The dude is a really, really great musician, and he's got a really good singing voice. So, yeah. I honestly, Tim, and I apologize for a little interruption, but I don't remember. I remember it said it was going to be like some, big production. But honestly, it's been so long. I don't remember if they even mentioned him or Winona Ryder or the lady that plays his love interest, which I can't remember her name right now.
I don't remember the actress's name as well.
The young lady.
We'll have that. We'll have that down below. In regards to,
did you say below? Okay.
In regards to Johnny Depp, just to circle back to that, didn't he have a home down by the river? He had it like down somewhere like that. Was it this movie that he bought the home, or was the home bought before that?
Okay, this is funny, but the only thing I really know about some famous people, well, not even here, but in the next state, is like, I know Adam West and Bruce Willis both had homes in, was it Sun?
Idaho.
What's that place? Sun,
Yep.
Idaho. Sun
Valley.
Yeah. I don't know. I do know, I will say this for fact, Stephanie told me this, and I couldn't stop laughing. She had such a huge crush on him. She saw him at Riverfront Park one day, and she's like, I wanted to approach him so bad. Like, she had the biggest crush on him, and I think, I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure she told me he waved at her, or she waved at him, and he smiled at her, and she's like, oh, she was in heaven.
She should have just done it. I felt the same way when I first moved to New York City. You know who the first famous person I bumped into walking on the sidewalks in New York City around Midtown?
It was Christopher Walken, wasn't it?
No, that'd be hilarious. That's another great one. But no, he was Huey Lewis. He was out on the sidewalk smoking a cigarette, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, Back to the Future. I was like, oh my god! I kind of nerded out, but I didn't want to be like that guy who was going to be like,
really?
freaking out.
You
so
never
I just
told
was like,
me this. So here we go with something new.
Yeah, no, it was the first person that
your friends tell you something that you don't even know about.
No, I saw a dude smoking a cigarette and next to a building awesome. There on the street, and I was like, that guy looks really. Oh my god, that's Huey Lewis. So, and yeah,
who doesn't like Huey Lewis? I mean, who doesn't love sports? It's one of the greatest albums.
Yeah, but that's back when pre smartphones, so we didn't literally have a camera in our pocket, and if we had a camera in our pocket, it made that sound. Because doing the camera whine, that was the worst camera whine sound effect ever. It
sounds like
anyway,
something a lawnmower.
So that being said, she should have come out and just said hi and made convo.
She might, I don't know, because the sad thing is, in regards to all this, I haven't talked to Stephanie in a very long time. I did try to get a hold of her. She sent a message about, a really kind about the podcast last year. And I did send her an email, and I gave her my phone number. I hope she's doing okay. And I'm still I hope she's doing okay too. So if she is hearing this episode, we love you, we miss you, and we'd love to maybe get some words from you about, if you remember this.
Yeah, please, reach out. I'm trying to find a way to actually, one of the ways is on YouTube. People can actually leave comments under the episode. In regards to email, how are we going to do that? I believe we were using social media for them to reach out. So either on Facebook or Instagram, so old people stuff. But there's ways to get in touch with you.
It works.
So that being said, to in regards to Johnny Depp, what you don't know much about the houses that he bought down by the river.
I honestly don't know if he did.
Okay. That might just been a rumor.
If Mr. Depp is hearing this, can you confirm it with us? You never know, man. Because I heard he's a really cool guy too. So maybe it's be like, hey, Johnny, some dudes are talking about you in that one movie.
No, I think that for me, again, when it says, a movie with Johnny Depp, he's gonna be down there again. Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare on Elm Street. There's probably some other movies that I'm forgetting about in between there. That was later, wasn't? Oh no, that was on TV. That's right.
Yeah, and you know what?
But I was never a fan of that show.
Okay, I couldn't get into it. There's another movie. I own it upstairs. I still haven't watched it. It's supposed to be really good. So a big movie with him and Penelope Cruz was Blow.
Oh yeah, but
About
that was awesome because that had
I need
that
to
had
watch that.
oh my goodness, Pee Wee
Oh, Dead
Herman.
Man.
Paul Rubens was in Blow, and he was awesome in it.
Oh, that's right. Hey, and don't forget a movie that everybody should
Oh
check
yes,
out.
thank
Jim
you,
Jarmusch. A
dude.
Jim Jarmusch film. It's excellent. Actually, it's probably my favorite Johnny Depp film. It's
Oh
called
my
Dead
God.
Man.
Actually, I'm amazed you're saying this, dude, because for
You've seen
me,
Dead Man, right?
I'm not a big fan of Jim Jarmusch, but
Really? Oh,
my
crap. I
only
love Jim
favorite
Jarmusch.
Jim Jarmusch film, is Dead Man. I love Dead Man, and I
Oh,
think that
I'm
like
not
it's
kidding you.
definitely one of my favorites too. And
I
I
actually
love
have become.
the who's the Native American actor in it, because I love when he puts on
Oh,
Johnny
I'm not
Depp's
sure, but the
hat
big bear,
and does
the
the
bear
whole
guy, the guy with the bear. That guy, that whole movie.
so awesome.
I love, seriously, that was my first experience with Jim Jarmusch, and
What a great
I have a
soundtrack
lot.
too, right?
Oh, the whole soundtrack is instrumental by Neil Young,
No, it's so good.
and it's
I
incredible.
love
It's like
Dead Man. Dead
it's
Man
like you're
doesn't.
watching a dream.
You're right. It doesn't get enough credit, and it should,
You're in
because
a
like Dead
dream,
Man is so
and
good.
it's like you're in a dream, and it's like beautifully
Yes,
shot.
actually, you know what? That's a great way to describe that movie, man.
Well, thanks.
Like it's
I mean, come on.
you're in a dream, and it's actually kind of a nightmare, only because of how things wind
Well, the
up.
whole
But
beginning of what happens, how he
that
ends
too.
up with the native guy, and there's some scenes in that movie. But I got to tell you, and that's the thing about Johnny Depp. I think he's a very diverse actor, and let's give credit to Winona Ryder. She's been in.
Oh yeah,
She's been in some interesting stuff. I like her. I mean, she's in a show
especially
that,
lately. She's got like the riz, man.
yeah, people won't shut up about it, which I think is okay. Honestly, I think it's been kind of overhyped, but I still appreciate it. It's like Stranger Things with her on it. And I think it's a cool show, but there's people out there I've run into, especially lately, that's the best show ever made, bar none. I'm like, whoa. But I look at them like, whoa.
No,
that's like your
the
opinion.
last season for me, I don't think it didn't really hit the mark for me. It didn't luckily hit the Lost mark where I knew exactly what was going to happen with the last episode, and then they did it. It was more just how they executed it for the ending for me. I don't know. I got a lot of questions more than just, I guess, enjoyment. But I do see how they set up one of the characters to look very much
continuation.
Well, she looks almost identical to some of oh my goodness, Alien. Why am I forgetting?
Oh, was her name like 11?
No, what? No, not her. There's another.
I don't even know. I've only seen the first 2 episodes. That's it. And people are like, you haven't seen the rest of them? I'm like, oh, I just said I've only seen the first 2. I always laugh at people. Do you haven't? I'm like, no. But I like it. I mean, it has that vibe of, because I grew up. That was my time. I'm going to be 55 in the middle of June. And I can relate all that. I mean, I never played D&D, although I was obsessed with the Monster Manual, and I could tell you a whole story about that, but I won't right now. But I could relate to it. I could totally relate. I mean, and I remember the first episode, they're sitting there playing D&D, and there's a poster of The Thing in the background. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I know that had
it's Natalia Dyer, and she's the actress who plays the character in Stranger Things, which is Nancy Wheeler, and they made her look like Sigourney Weaver. So there's wait a
second. That's a character that shows up later. Isn't she part of something to do with it's like
she's a part of the gang. She's one of the friends.
Oh, gang! I was thinking of the government because I know there's a character.
She's the one who's like the journalist who's trying to work for, or ends up working for the paper.
Well, what's the character that shows up later? She's kind of evil. I believe it's Stranger Things. She shows up later. She's part of a government agency, something to do with suppression, investigating aliens, but she's kind of evil.
Oh man!
Unless I'm thinking of something else. But anyways, so anybody that's listened to this, we are actually getting to the point about Benny and Joon, but we're talking about kind of the people that were involved in it. So if you're like Benny and Joon, so it was the movie. It was shot out here, but the people were talking about
which could you explain here?
Yes. Explain. And the
Well,
Chronic.
Spokane, Washington, because
So yeah, this is the big
people
deal.
who are not in your area, who are familiar with you listening to this podcast already, may not know that the rest of the world may not know that you don't exist or exist. That is, you do exist, but we would like the world to know more about the city in which you live.
Yeah, so Spokane, Washington is kind of a small area. I've had people countless times, oh, yeah, you're in Seattle. I'm like, no. It's not that I have Spokane pride, but it kind of annoys me. It's like Seattle is like 6 hours from here. Oh no, 4 hours, I think. Spokane is, it's not really a huge city, but for me, it's pretty big because I lived in the middle of nowhere, literally. I lived between Blanchard and Spirit Lake, Idaho. We had one neighbor across the freeway. So when I came to Spokane, honestly, it was kind of culture shock. In fact, it took me 3 days to actually leave my apartment to catch a bus, to be brave and catch a bus downtown, and then ask the bus driver, oh, what bus do I catch to go back home? And I told her, I said, I'm new here. I wasn't actually new in Spokane.
Is that when you were abducted? When did the abduction case happen? Was that because I heard a story about a bus driver abducting a young BCA and you being tied up? Heard about hogtied, and that's how you lost your virginity?
76. It had to do with Kodak Instamatic pictures and a lot of boiled hot dogs and soda pop at Kmart. And Star Wars action figures. I don't really like to talk about it.
Giving everybody a whole new meaning of Blue Light Special, which
it'll be coming out on Dateline one of these times. Like, hello, this is Keith Morrison. We're going to talk about the Kmart incident, the Blue Light Special nightmare. It was actually a really good time, and I got a Han Solo action figure out of it. So, anyways, I know. Seriously, joking aside, I could tell you something weird. Okay, so Spokane. Okay, this kind of goes with everything and kind of goes, well, eventually lead back to Benny and Joon and our experiences meeting up and becoming friends and stuff. So Spokane is kind of a weird place. We, as a lot of people know, it's been in the newspaper around the United States, lots of fentanyl use, drug abuse, It's really weird because you go in some areas and it looks like super rich areas, and you go in other areas.
Couldn't you say that it's culturally devoid? Because for me, living in Spokane as a young teenager, I wanted to get out and do things, and didn't really have things set up for teenagers. So for me, what we ended up doing was putting on raves, just so that way we had something to do, and because we really enjoyed getting together at raves. Did you go to any of those?
Nope.
I think I remember we tried to get you to come, and I think that was the response.
Yeah, to quote, oh my God, from Archer. Nope.
But you did. The other thing that we did, by the way, I'm just saying raves, and forgetting the whole part where you were involved, which is we used to put on shows, and we would.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I knew a lot of the people that were involved, that did the raves, and the thing is, I think it's because I was just kind of scared. Just being around lots of people.
But ultimately, it's also because there's just no real culture in Spokane. So I'm also jumping ahead with some of these things, so I'm going to stop that. But I just want to make the comment that in regards to Spokane, it's kind of culturally, it's culturally devoid, and we kind of had to bring it ourselves.
Oh yeah, we did stuff. I mean, we had the For the Kids, which was a collective, and I guess I was kind of part of it. I actually designed some flyers. I made some flyers, like always put Godzilla on the flyers, but we had a lot of shows at the local Westminster Church, which is down on the corner. I think it was on.
Yep, that's also where we would do Food Not Bombs.
But yeah, we had Food Not Bombs, we had punk shows, but we also had noise shows. And it was a mix, and some people didn't like it. Like the Earwigs would play with all these punk bands, and these punk bands, I don't know. They were just whatever their deal was. They
can we do one thing? And I'm sorry, just to help you with as far as jumping ahead. I think we've gotten so far ahead right now. We should stop talking about the shows because that should be literally after this because we have to meet first before we get to that part.
You're a thief.
Jesus.
Ouch.
You okay? What happened?
I sat up.
Oh.
my body just kind of aches now. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm 100 years old. But no, it's Spokane, and it's funny too because you and I meeting, and Stephanie, us three meeting, we are all three very creative people, and I think that's our connection. But the experience of, and the so-called tryout, by the way, was we didn't even try out. Do you remember that?
I did.
All that happened was a lady showed up. She goes, "Hello," and I can't remember what news station she was, but what I thought was funny is I remember this like yesterday, Tim. There's a little bit of blur going on here thinking about that. Anyways, oh, you're all quite diverse. I see you look kind of punk rock with your jacket, and you look very gothic, and you look. What did she say? I don't want to say make up words, but kind of preppy. But all three of us said, well, and I said, it doesn't matter how someone looks if, you get along. And we've been talking, I think we were in line. I'm pretty sure we were in line for 4 hours. And all the lady did, and she was kind of dumb. Like I just said, well, you can be friends with different kinds of people. And as far as the tryout, we never got a call. And I do remember, I'm pretty sure they took a picture of each one of us and said they'd call us if they're interested. I never got a call.
They took a headshot. Yep. So that way they could determine whether or not we have the look.
I was kind of bummed out. I never got a call.
Well, you know why? It's because their casting director wasn't Prince. Prince, he would be the one who'd be like, Charlie, you got the look. You got the look.
Yeah, red carpet.
No, he's got the song.
Give you a ride to the set, little red Corvette, gonna make you.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah,
but I do like the Freebird there.
I'm drinking my decaf right now. You know what though? Okay, so Benny and Joon, this is the thing that got me. So that was it. That was the end of it as far as trying out for the movie. No calls, nothing on my whatever. So not too far from where I lived. I lived up on West 10th Avenue. What was it? West 1914 10th Avenue. Several blocks straight down the street from where I live. They were starting to shoot it. And the whole time when they're like working on the movie, the different areas around Spokane that they're filming, like Riverfront Park, South Hill. I had a job at the time. I worked at the West Central Community Center with developments with disabled people. Still to this day, best job I ever had. Every single day I'd get on a bus. And I got to tell you, this started driving me crazy. Oh, I heard of that. Oh, I have a painting in that. People were going on and on like, oh, my cousin's in that movie. And I was getting really sick of it. Because, with me, this kind of weirdo, semi-punk rock weirdo guy with a mullet, and I'm wearing my, army jacket, wearing combat boots. I'm on the bus. It's like 7 a.m. And I swear to you, for like months on end, while the movie was being worked on, that's all I heard about. And I got so sick of it. I mean, it was like building up, you know what I mean? And it was all these, I didn't see any weirdos or anything. It was just all these like yuppies, people like with their John Grisham books having conversations. Oh, it's latest novel. It's just, it's a wonderful thriller. Oh, have you heard about, they're still working on Benny and Joon. And I was just like, oh my God. And it was driving me crazy. And I guess part of it too is a little upset. I was like, that would have been really cool if we would have got apart. Because you never know. I mean, if we would have gotten it, our lives, honestly, Tim, I think our lives would have been completely different had we gotten those roles. You know what I mean? Because that's happened. There's somebody caught somebody at a restaurant, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, boom, they're in a movie with Al Pacino. Like what?
I would have preferred David Lynch because, he was in our area as well.
You know what's funny? And we could talk a whole thing on Mr. Lynch. Probably miss that guy. But yeah, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad I didn't get a part in it. I mean, wow.
Well, it is what it is, and I do know that they were shooting it all over Spokane, but a majority of it down by the river, down in is that called Peaceful Valley?
Yeah, that's right. They shot it down there too. I used to hang out there a lot. In fact, Stephanie and I.
That's where we used to get Rice Stream from, right?
Oh yeah,
I remember walking down there just because they're the little mini store.
There was a health food store there, and Stephanie and I for a while there, we ended up becoming really good friends. I mean, we hung out nonstop. Some people thought we were actually going out. We weren't. We were just really good friends. And we used to hang out down there a lot. We'd hang out till like 3 or 4 in the morning, just walking around, and it was really fun talking about life. But I got to say, where I lived, oh my God, it's still, it just, it makes me so mad. I shouldn't be mad, but it's actually more funny at the same time. So one of the places they shot at was this fancy looking house up on the South Hill. I can't remember exactly. I swear I've seen it in the trailers from the movie because I've never watched the movie. But there's a house. It's real fancy. I guess what would you call it? What's the name? What's the kind of person they go? Scouting location person. Found this place. They paid the people a bunch of money to shoot some of the film up there. And I had to go through that area up the street to, if you remember, Mitchell's IGA used to be up there.
Oh, yeah.
Mitchell's IGA. This kind of a low budget store. It would have been great for like a slasher film. This is a weird looking area. The store was kind of odd. Old floors, you name it. So anyhow, I'm walking by. I'm just trying to ignore the people. You know, there's a bunch of people out there. You could tell they were getting ready to shoot. I got all my food. Probably about 40 minutes later, I'm coming back down the street, and a security guard, "Excuse me, sir, you can't go through here." And I go, "What? You can't go down here?" I go, "I live down that way," and I pointed way down the street, you know, because I was just walking a street walk to my apartment. "You can't do that." I go, "What?" Anyways, I got really mad. I said, "Fine," and he was just kind of belligerent, not super belligerent, but belligerent enough that it was getting on my nerves. So I ended up, "Well, then how do I get home?" He goes, "Well, you have to go through the alleyway." I said, "Fine." So I walked to the alleyway, and I'm walking, right? And I look over to the right, and there's this big setup. You can see like the, what do you call those? I know there's another word for a type of umbrella, you know, to keep the bright lights out. And I'm assuming it was some of the actors, actresses, the crew working on the film. And I'm not going to repeat here exactly what I said, but let's just say that I let off some of the most foul words at them at the top of my lungs. I told them to go blank themselves, that their movie was a blanking piece of blank, and that they could eat my blank. And every single person looked at me, and I said, "Yeah, that's right." And then I grabbed my bags and I proceeded to walk home.
So you were the grumpy asshole who wandered by and because now I'm the guy who's on the set, who's the crew, and I'm looking over at you because I just so happen to get this gig and it pays me enough. It's got Johnny Depp on it. I've only read the script a little bit, so I only have a little bit of an idea about what it is, but I'm told where to put the lights, where to put the cables, and now I'm looking down an alleyway and I'm seeing this dude who I don't know what his name is, but he just so happens to be BCA, and he's telling me to go fuck myself. And I mean, what do you think they're thinking, dude?
Oh, and I also did tell him, before I forgot, right before I walked off, I stormed off. He yelled, "Your movie sucks."
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for dooming me. It's like you're the guy who showed up to the casino and yelled 7.
Hey, everybody won nothing. You know what's funny though?
So wouldn't you say that that's you being a little upset just because you didn't get the role, or is it just? Sorry.
Oh no,
sorry.
A lot of it. Okay.
I understand. I forget the setup that you couldn't get down your street. So were they?
No, it wasn't just that. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody that's listening to the show, here's the reason why I got really mad, because I got sick of hearing about it. I would have been more excited if it'd been
just way overload, right?
Yeah, it's just like all these people. Like, I've lived in Spokane on and off, seriously, since 1978. And I lived in Airway Heights for a long time. Not a long time. I lived there for a while, you two.
Yep.
I remember that night we went over there, and that was just weird. But something special about it. But I lived in Airway Heights. I've lived, in fact, where I live at right now, only a few blocks away, I lived at some house. I'm actually going to see if it's still there one of these days, but it's in by this Audubon elementary school, which they rebuilt several years ago. And there's a picture of me. I haven't put it up yet, but me flipping off the school because I got bullied there a lot. Anyways, the reason why I got so mad Yeah, there was a little bit of that. Hey, we stood in line for 4 hours, and that was it. And just what? And then just hearing about it nonstop. I was just like, every single day on the bus, I'd be like half asleep because I'm on my way to work back in the old days when I worked early. And that's all these people did. And seriously, it's not nice to stereotype, but they were all yuppies. And a lot of these people never even paid me any attention. Like some of you say hi to him and give you a dirty look. And they're always on there, like I said, talking about, I have nothing against the dude. He's a fine writer. I'm not into like that kind of whatever. But John Grisham. Oh, yes. Yeah. The new John Grisham is absolutely wonderful. And as you know me, Tim, I have never been a fan of yuppies. Yep. And people are like, yuppies don't exist anymore. Yeah, they do. They're still maybe not as prevalent as in the 80s, but just like really, to me, fake people that anybody that looks different or thinks differently, like your art, films, comic book. Well, probably none of them read comic books, but you know what I mean. So anyways, it just made me really mad. And honestly, I've seen parts of the movie. And I don't think it's that great.
Let me also just do a little bit of devil's advocate and say that, like, because I had also mentioned that, Spokane's slightly culturally devoid because there's not a lot going on there, right? So I think that excitement is because, hey, there's not a lot going on here. But, hey, Johnny Depp's in town making a movie.
You could feel the vibe of that. When I was on the bus listening to this, I get it. Maybe it's because I'm 100 years old now. But, I was like, what?
Here's a question. What if we reverse this, though? And I'm only, again, even more devil's advocate. What if the shoes were reversed? What if you were Johnny Depp? What if Johnny Depp was Charles Styles? What if the whole town was talking about you and you were going around town and you were wearing a mask or something to hide your identity? Would it still annoy you, or would it be different?
You know what? That'd be a whole different thing and that's the thing. And I want you and everybody to know this. I feel like we're standing on a podium with oversized microphones. I have seriously nothing against Johnny Depp. And I feel like a fruitcake here. I just realized something. Why? Okay, I'm sorry. The whole episode, I'm sure somebody out there is noticing this. Has anybody just noticed? Why were we talking about Winona Ryder? She's not in. She's not in Benny and Joon. We were talking about her. Oh, it's because she was dating him.
Yeah, she was dating because they started dating, I believe, after Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Apologies. We're not even talking. Okay, the other woman that was in it, which I can't remember her name, but the character that his character falls in love with, the blonde gal. I don't even remember her name, and people are like, dude, she's famous. Like, the only thing I know about her is Benny and Joon, but I've seen that movie for sale, and people even nowadays, that wonderful film shot in Spokane. But the point is, you make a very good point. It's true. It's like when Jurassic Park came out. Oh my God, it took me years to watch that because the hype on it. And the thing is, Spokane is not the most culturally devoid place.
And by the way, go to Newport, Joon is Mary Stuart Masterson.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, you know what? This town, and it's one thing I will say in defense of Spokane, when I'm talking about devil's advocate, is I get tired of hearing that. Not you, but these other people. There's stuff going on, and people really are trying. Like right now, today is the third day of a punk rock festival. All the money is going to help immigrants.
Oh, that's awesome.
And make people aware and anti-ICE and all, which I'm 100% for. This thing is, people are trying. Like with me, I started my band, the Earwigs, in 1990, and I had a friend, and I want to say this on the subject of Spokane and the good and the bad stuff. This friend of mine who's gone, just took off years ago. Anyway, she told me one day, she said, I've heard you talking about how you want to just get out of here. She goes, if you went to like Portland or somewhere else and you keep your band going, she says, you'll be like all the other thousands of bands. Oh, yeah, Seattle. It was Seattle. She says, because you're like living in Seattle. She says, in Spokane, you're one of a kind and you're unique. And that's important because you're doing something that nobody else is really doing, which there's a few people doing stuff, but not like, and I'm not trying to sound like a narcissist here, but, when you do a band that long, and it all started out in my bedroom. Actually my best friend's bedroom down in the basement.
Which, by the way, you cover some of this in the High Powered Mutant documentary about you,
and
right?
If you guys want to hear that story, there is a thing about the Earwigs, and I got to tell you this. I will be doing a sequel to it sometime. I mean, I have to. It's part of my blood and my life. But the thing is, she made a good point, and that's part of the reason why I'm kind of still here. I haven't played a show in a long time. One show in 7 years last year, and then after that, it's been, basically a Spinal Tap thing going on. But I'm not giving up. Things are
don't give up, because the deal is that we may be here accidentally as far as existence, but that just means that the randomness of that just gives credence to, or makes it more credible to just do it.
And I've got crazy plans. And I want to thank from the bottom of my heart to Mr. Rob Reiner and all the gentlemen from This is Spinal Tap and the sequel, and the one that nobody ever talks about, The Return of Spinal Tap, which is not the new one. It came out in 1992. I have it on DVD. I will show it to you right now, but you can't see it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's fun. It's ridiculous. Anyhow, that's the thing about life. And, you're in a small town where you don't do,
So there we are in a small town, just you're saying, hey, we haven't met.
I'm from Spokane. Who? Where's it? And I'm like, look it up.
That's a great setup to just continue the convo, by the way, with, okay, so now we met, and now we're continuing this. We didn't make it in a movie. That's okay. We're seeing, Stephanie is seeing Johnny Depp around town, whatnot. So the production now it's over, right? It's moved on. It's gotten produced.
I think
so. Then what happens next for us?
I don't know how long the movie took, but yeah, they finished it eventually.
But how did you and I start? Because obviously we were putting on shows, and I remember booking you for it.
Basically what happened here, love, is I had what was called, you might remember these, I had a telephone, an actual telephone you plugged into the wall with a telephone number, and I gave it. We ended up trading each other's numbers, and we ended up hanging out. And I was like, this guy's cool. You're actually one of my very first friends out here, because like I said, I was shy. The first person I actually really met was the bus driver, and I hope she's okay where she is. She was a sweetheart, really nice lady, really kind and compassionate, because I was scared, man. I mean, I'm from the middle of the woods, I'm a character from oh my God, the old Wes Craven film of the cannibals, The Hills Have Eyes. I was one of those guys that said, I had no family, right? Okay, kind of blabbing. Anyway, I met you, and we were hanging out. And then from there, it kind of sprouted. It was like a tree, vines growing. I met you, and then with you, I met Stephanie. Well, actually, I met you guys at the same time, and then I ended up meeting Adam I think I met Adam about a month later, but we were hanging out a little bit because you lived in that apartment. It turned out you only lived.
Did you visit me when I was living with my parents?
Yeah, I did. In fact, we had a hilarious fiasco there. I remember you're like, hey, Charlie, why don't you come on over? And I think Adam went along. We caught the bus because it was out in Cheney, I believe. Was it Cheney?
Oh wow, that was that long ago. Okay, yeah, that's
with
back
a big
when
basement full of comic books, and you're like, "Come on into the abyss." And I went down there.
Oh no, that wasn't Cheney, dude. That was Airway Heights.
Oh wait, you're right. Okay, that was the long bus ride. Okay, Airway Heights. Sorry, what was I thinking? Cheney. Okay, I'm just trying to think. Oh, that was Adam's dad lived in Cheney.
I lived in Cheney too, briefly with my family, because they had rented a farmhouse that still had the barn and all that stuff. And yeah, that was because that's when we did Hell's. That's where we recorded Hell's Bible.
Which, by the way, if anybody listening, you want to hear Hell's Bible, get online. Go to, just type in the words. It's 3 separate words. Fish Move Productions. My friend Zach Howard, who is currently helping me put together the Earwigs double 12-inch LP, which may or may not happen at the moment. Find out soon. Anyway, Hal, you could go there. It's all free downloads. It's a buttload of music by Adam, myself, some stuff by Tim. Hell's Bible is a project that Tim and Adam did, and it's really cool.
And also the Tillman brothers.
Oh yeah, the Cannibal Corpse guys. I think are like those guys crack me up. It's a really cool recording. I actually still have, I don't know if it's the master tape, but anyways, I have the cassette in the single case with artwork by, I believe Adam did it. And I sent it to my friend Zach, and he put it up on there. So if you want to hear, it's really cool. It's very synth heavy, drum machine. Very cool. I love it. I think it should be on CD. And in fact, I've been trying to get that and a bunch of other stuff. But anyways, if you want to hear that band, and that's the thing is, we all did musical projects. And I want to state for the record that I'm very proud of you. You are actually going to be on the double 12-inch LP on a segment on there on it was like a live thing we did in front of Adam's brothers over in Cheney.
Huh.
And
that was long ago.
Not very good, by the way. Yeah, not very
I was
good.
not very good back then.
You know what? You played better than my brother Derek.
Oh, yeah?
Better. No, it's funny because I was trying to like, and I won't say the full name here. I'm sure people know what band I'm talking about. AC.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anal. So, anyways, I was really inspired by them, and I dreamed of being kind of like them, having a 3-piece band. So it was me doing vocals. You were playing guitar. Quite badly. So I gotta keep saying that I was bad
destroying
on my
a guitar.
And then Adam was doing I still have it here, but this big Yamaha keyboard with the drum, the the beats on it. Anyhow, that's gonna be on there. Yeah, what was it? So yeah, you had the Abyss going, and I remember Adam and I catching a bus out there, and you gave me a really good deal. I think I still have some of those comic books. But not too long later, your dad's like, I have to take all those back. You had to take them back.
He did?
Like, you remember you were getting all these free comics, your dad, because they were like, basically, we're not selling them now. He thought that he could take them. That's the story I remember. You had a bunch of the comics. You're like, dude, I can't sell these anymore. And you had to give I got to keep the ones I had because I gave you money. I bought them from you because I had some kind of, that's when I had my job, I think.
So I don't remember exactly how that went. I might have said that only because I stopped getting. No. I didn't have to give them back. I think what happened was my dad stopped getting them because they stopped giving them to him. So basically, my dad was working for. Yeah, he was working for the magazine distributor, and he was telling me that the magazines and the comic books would come back to the distributor where they would be scanned and then they would be shredded for insulation. And I was like, oh my God, that's what's happened to comic books?
They were doing that with them?
Yeah, and so basically he had convinced one of them to where, just started giving him the comic books. And so he would take them home to me. And I had many coffin box, comic book coffin boxes just filled, stacked. And I remember actually what we did is I ended up selling all of them to a comic book shop somewhere in Idaho that had just started out and they needed inventory. So I kind of helped them, but yeah, so I guess I'm being slim shady by admitting it, but it was my collection at first. I had held on to it for a few years before it was sold.
Legally speaking, you didn't.
And it wasn't much money. I mean, you're talking about pennies on a comic book.
You helped somebody with their business. You helped me because I'm pretty sure I might have gotten some issues of Wildcats from you. I still have all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's about the time.
I've got about 15 or 16 long boxes worth of comic books. I mean, I love comic books. Same. I collect, especially
I still have a comic book collection.
Underground stuff is more what I'm into, like old school.
Well, you have your own comic book too. How's that going?
Oh, well,
that's what I learned about you, by the way, when I first met you, was that you're also an artist of many things.
Okay, right after I met you, I was kind of established. Like, I think I had my first job. Yeah, I ended up, and I will never forget this, Tim. Like, I've been drawing all my life, but one night I was sitting in I remember those days, actually sitting at a kitchen table. But anyways, I was sitting at the kitchen table. And I was trying to come up with a character, and I was thinking about, true crime, like serial killers and stuff. And I wanted to come up with something real, shocking. Because I've always been one of those rebel guys. Like, I don't want to do a superhero comic. I want to do something really nasty and gross and gory and weird. So I was thinking about doing a comic book based on Ed Gein, like a character. Like I the first thing that popped in my head was, and people don't really know this story too well, but son of Gein. I'm like, hey, what if Edward Gein had a son? And then I thought, that's actually kind of disrespectful to the victims. Honestly, it's like, I didn't think that was cool. So I was like, but I still like the name Gein. And then long story short, I created Son of Gein, which is, everybody knows, the little crazy lollipop shark head looking crazy little
Who
guy.
is now also is the puppet version still exist, or is he messed up?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to find a way, which I don't think would be hard. I'm going to go to Michael's sometime, the art store. Yeah, I still got him. In fact, his head is in the front room here and his body's upstairs. But yeah, he's all in one. Well, I'd say two pieces because, you can take his head off.
Yep.
But I need to get some stuff to fill up because there's a few cracks on his head. But yeah, I still got him. I love that so much, man. You did a beautiful job creating him. I've done so many comics since then, but I ended up, Geen is short for Genius, which is the evil dimension traveling sorcerer, which people know or maybe don't know, is also a character he's like the main antagonist in the New Wave Zombies film that we made several years ago.
So which is in regards to after meeting you, auditioning for this movie at some point, obviously learning that you're an artist of all types, including movies, we started outside of making music, and putting on shows, and then being like, hey, we could do a noise act. Let's get Charlie over here doing his show
together too.
And then we were doing lots and lots of short films, one of which is still lost to time, which is the short film that we did at that the house that you ended up moving into.
Oh, yes. You're talking about Late.
Well, Late, you were in that, right?
Are you talking about the other one where I play them? Oh, that was a later one. I play a maid. That was when we were working on the documentary.
Yes,
time to clean your house, honey.
that one's disappeared. Yep, the Harvey Firestein tribute that you did that will be lost to time. And then we started, we continued from there with making short films together. And what else would you say is the major piece after Late that we kind of worked on?
Well, there's been a bunch, but we can't forget. I got to bring this real fast. Adam was attempting to direct a zombie film in Gene.
Yeah, thank you. That's the very first one. Thank you. That's the very first one.
I wish with all my heart. Oh God, I wish we could find it.
Yeah, because that's the one that you were like, "Halt, you got darn dirty zombie."
That it was so weird. Here's the funny thing: is back then everybody thought it was terrible. I thought it was pretty bad. Well, that was over 30 plus years ago. Okay, so I, over the years, as I've grown up, have really gotten into a lot of different types of films. And I think watching a lot of different genres of film, you realize that sometimes, hey, like certain movies like this, I didn't like this movie back then. Now I think it's great. Anyways, I've got a lot of low budget movies and very low budget, shot on video, cult films, And the thing is, that one is actually pretty cool. I've got movies that are way worse than that. And even some of the stuff that we shot later, like, in 1996, we did A Beautiful Day. That was actually, I came up with it almost immediately. I had this concept. So I asked Adam, who was my roommate, one of 4 times, and we shot it. And he was actually the lead actor in it. And I didn't have to be the lead guy. I'm like, you know what? I don't mind just doing the camera and I use the term very loosely, special effects, which is pretty much salsa, ski mask, and it was a voodoo mask that Adam had. Anyways, and then we got you involved, and you showed up in a scene, and oh my God, I still bust up there.
That short was actually included on a VHS compilation called the Video Makers compilation.
That's been on too. What they call it, A Beautiful Day, it's been on there, and it's also been on one I did called Unorganized, which is like 4 hours. And it's like, I wonder if anybody's ever sat complete through it. It's a bunch of short films I did. It's even got stuff to me, a local legend who used to run Moonshadow. He actually lent me a VHS tape with 8mm films he shot in college. He actually gave me permission, and I put those on the comp. And they're really fun. They're really low budget, but really fun. In fact, that's on DVD-R. You made me a DVD-R of that. But the Michael Moonbear stuff, and I hope, apparently he's still around. I guess he still teaches drum classes, but I miss that store, Moonshadow. I mean, everybody used to hang out there.
Yeah, I remember that from the drum circles that we used to do up on the hill, up in Monroe Park, or wherever it was.
It was Yeah, way at that park on the South Hill. You know, I went to one of those, and it was pretty nice. People were genuinely pretty cool.
They were positive when we were doing it. I've heard that they've gotten pretty negative lately, which was a real shame that's how
Well, the problem
they
is,
stopped.
they started having a lot of gangbanger wannabes showing up and actually attacking people up there.
For what? People are just trying
because they're hippies, and these guys were wannabe, like, you know what I mean, wannabe homies. It's like, why don't you go to Compton where the real gangbangers are and see what happens with their attitude? I guarantee you they would have been done.
Yeah,
but
obviously,
yeah, people were getting scared to go up there after a while, and then I think people started fighting back, and it was just like, why do you got to ruin? You know what I mean? It's like, why you got to ruin? That's the thing about it's not just Spokane. It's like anywhere you go, you know, people are trying to do something. Like, these are guys, bunch of chill guys and gals, kind of have fun playing drums, and then you know what I mean.
Yeah, I would actually be playing didgeridoo.
Oh wow!
I'd be playing harmonica. I would be playing. I forgot what the instrument is called. It's like a tube that when you spin it, it makes a whistling sound, and if you do it in a way, you can actually make it rhythmic. So it was like kind of like the guy who was bringing the indigenous Australian sounds, I guess.
But cool, man.
Yeah. So and yeah, and then I also brought guitar, so we have that as well. And I, of course, I wouldn't play well, but I could hand it to somebody who could.
You know, I remember when I showed you that theme from the Ron Jeremy porn.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't forgotten that.
I want to out Tim here for a moment. So we're hanging out one day, and I showed him how to play this riff, right? I wasn't very good. People think, oh, yeah, man, you're pretty good. I'm better than I was. When you're playing the guitar since 1987, you got to have some kind of improvement. Anyways, I showed Tim this riff. It was from a X-rated film starring Ron the Hedgehog Jeremy. So, and he's sitting there, and he kept playing it over and over. And I don't know if you remember this, but Adam and I looked at each other like, oh, boy, because you were just going on. And then I showed you how to do a metal riff. Okay, that was the one that you really went crazy on. It's all dun 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 dun. You know, like a chugga riff, and you literally sat there for 5 minutes straight, and we ended up walking off, and you were still going dun dun dun. dun. And it was like, oh my god, I still do that. I did that last night. I went upstairs and actually I haven't played my guitar in like 3 weeks. I just kind of like but uninspired, and I went up there all dun dun dun.
Yeah, well, I was still evolving from the that whole Pentecostal Christian stuff.
Well, I've seen you grow up, man. That's one thing I want to say this right now is I've seen you really mature, and I'm proud of you, buddy. And I'm so happy to this day. Seriously, I am glad that I went to that tryout for that dumb movie. I'm glad I went. If I hadn't gone there, my life would be completely different. I wouldn't have met you. You helped give me a direction in my life. I mean, you know me. Sometimes I'm all talk, but eventually I do everything I say I'm going to do. I have a hard time focusing. I think I've honestly got undisclosed ADHD. And in fact, a friend of mine said, "Dude, I think you're on the spectrum with that." And I'm not offended. I really believe it. And I've actually
lots of people are.
I've been trying to talk to my doctors. Sorry, not doctors, but. And I'm not really I'm going to be serious and give them a call. Like, listen, what can I do? I don't want to take medication for it, but all my life I've had a problem. Like, if you saw my room right now, anybody listen to the show, my room is a wreck. Although I've been told a lot of times, your room is a fun wreck. My house is a wreck. I have a lot of stuff. I'm not a hoarder, but I have a lot of stuff. It's just hard to focus. And I always like to use the Spinal Tap thing with my band, which is actually true because you're in a band. Yeah, that movie's real. All that stuff that happens. Yeah, it happens. But you and I have done a lot of cool projects. We've shot a lot of stuff. And I think
it's all because, really cool. As you said, because of this, dumb movie, as you say, Benny and Joon. But by the way, there's one person in Benny and Joon.
I mean,
hey, by the way,
gone. I want to met you and Stephanie, and I'm so glad. And good things have happened since. Bad things have happened since, But life, we're still here, man. And, I'm glad I met Adam. Adam's a character, that's for sure. And hopefully, I'm pretty sure we'll have an episode with Adam, and he's the gentleman behind Moth, Smart Frog. other projects. Oh yeah, difficulties that he and I do, and as well as a newer project he's doing called Route Map. And he's been a honorary member of the Earwigs, as well as my buddy that I'm talking with, Tim. Tim's been a member a few times, and
that's right.
It's all fun. It's creativity, man. And you know what? We're gonna keep doing it. I mean, we've had our ups and downs of life, but you know what? The thing is, we're still here, and we're still creating stuff, and we haven't given up. And I think it's great. And I'm sorry I keep making a reference like Spinal Tap. They never gave up. And it's just a movie, but the fact that those guys are creative and doing stuff, and who knows what's going to happen now since Rob Reiner's gone. I hope they continue in his honor and memory to make, hilarious, fun mockumentaries. I
hope so too.
And we continue.
Yep.
I think we're all unique individuals. And the thing I love about our friendship is we are quite different, but we also have a lot of things in common.
Oh, for sure.
You have a wonderful family. You have a wonderful lady there. I would consider a wonderful lady, even though she's not real. And yes, you can hear the episode. It's called Who the is Ginger? If you want to hear all about my alien love.
Season 1?
I think you know what? I think it was season 2, because I was trying to spice up the show.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I was trying to spice up the show. But yeah, click on the link and see some wonderful photos of me sitting alone by the ocean holding a picture of a girl. No, I'm happy. I'm in my own world, man. But I'm just glad throughout all these years. Did you realize?
No, it is season 1. That's basically 1? Episode 4 of season 1.
Holy what?
Yeah, Who the F is Ginger?
Wow. Okay, yeah, the episode is called Who the It's F, and I purposely did it, not for censorship reasons, because I thought it was funny. F dot question.
Hold on. Let me double check. Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
I'm being visited by a big black and white cat. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's it. Meow.
He's being weird.
Which kitty cat is that?
Oh, it's Walker.
Walker?
He's purring really loud. Oh yeah, he's over. He's the big pet, as they call him, the Pep's big cat. Wow.
Oh.
What are you doing? He's on. And I'm wearing my Halloween T-shirt right now in commemoration of Michael Myers, rest in peace.
Oh wow. Here's something, by the way, that
wonderful gentleman that did a lot of good things in a small town. We'll remember him.
In regards to the small town of Spokane, just one last thing about Benny and Joon that I think we forgot to mention was that there was a couple other actors that were in town that we didn't bump into that would have been fun to bump into, and that's Julianne Moore and one that's even in William H. Macy.
Wait, they were both in that movie?
Yeah, they're in that movie.
Okay, everybody, like I said, I've never seen it. Will I ever break down and watch it? You know what? I might one day, but the trailer I watched 4 years ago, I was like, this looks really... I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk smack about everybody involved in that film, but it looks totally boring. I did finally see What's Eating Gilbert Grape a couple of years ago. Now, that's another Johnny Depp movie that's excellent. That's a great film. With Leonardo
that one's good. I mean, in regards to that, I think of Tropic Thunder, though. And I think of Tropic Thunder, the most recent, right? So Tropic Thunder, when he's like, there's some of those characters that say some things in there, and then I think about that movie, Gilbert Grape, and then I'm just thinking that didn't work for him, because look at him now, he's still like getting all the lead roles. But
are we talking about Johnny Depp again?
No, we're not talking about Johnny Depp. We're talking about
William F. Macy.
No, we're talking about What's Eating or Gilbert Grape.
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know what? I used to hate that dude. I will say I used to despise that man, because when Titanic came out, once again, that's all I heard about. I'd go clean an office or something. Boom, there's a soundtrack CD sitting there, like people on the bus. Oh, that movie is so wonderful. They look at me weird. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't look like Leonardo. And I used to call him Leonardo DiCaprio. The thing is, he's actually not a bad actor. I've only ever watched about 10 minutes. Oh, that was you, me, Adam, and Darren. Remember when we were working on the High Powered Mutant documentary? You got us a hotel room, and we were sitting around the TV, and right before we went out to go do something, we saw the last 10 minutes, and I don't know if I was the only one laughing when the guy falls down and boom, 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 hits the propeller of the ship and falls into the water. But when it gets to the very end, when the dude, his character died, he froze to death, I actually thought that was, no joke, was actually really sad. I was like, you know,
why is there not enough space? Is it the door wasn't buoyant with 2 people on it?
Yeah, they want to fit 2 people. Which, you know what's funny? I just got so sick of hearing about that movie. But seriously, over the years, I watched some stuff with that dude. Like, I loved him. Holy crap! Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I got to see that one again because I've seen it once, but I got to see it again.
Him and Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie.
Yep. No, I know the cast.
What? Seriously, love him or hate him, Quentin Tarantino did a beautiful job. That and they're doing a spinoff with Brad Pitt's character.
Huh, that's interesting.
Apparently, Quentin Tarantino's producing it. I don't know. I think it's going to be a series, but it's about the stuntman guy.
Well, that's cool.
And I'm like, that might be pretty cool because I like this character. I thought that movie was really cool. I could do a whole episode about Bizarre Alien versus Quentin Tarantino, but how it ended up in a wonderful, happy ending. But it's so funny how something that a person like at least me doesn't care for could bring about friendship. Just that whole thing, finding a newspaper, desperately looking for a job, and looking for tryouts, and you know what I mean.
And here we are.
We're doing this fun show. And by the way, everybody, thank you for the people that support the show. Also, I want to thank, before I forget, the folks that did say that they're going to subscribe. I've had like 3 friends that got back to me and said, dude, I'm subscribing to it tonight. So hopefully you'll see that on there. But yeah, like 3 of my friends, because I have been reposting it and trying to let people know. And they're like, dude, I love this show.
And now we also have the ability for $3 a month if you subscribe with like a paid membership, you get early access to episodes, right?
Want to do. That's one my buddies want to do. Is
I also think this. We have extra audio content because when we set up these calls to do multiple guests, we're actually recording, so we have extra content. So I think we're going to set up at a higher paid level where if you pay $5 or $6 a month, you get access to the extra content. So there'll be like 30 minutes roughly or so of extra show content and conversation. And let me just tell you that talking with you, by the way, is always enjoyable. And you're super inspiring. I think the creativity that comes out of you, it's like it's always like undulating and bubbling, right? And so it's like the stuff, right? It's like coming out of the earth and you can eat it and it'll take over you and you'll
eventually
tell other people like you should eat this.
He died. That's what I'm trying to tell. You know what I'm going to say? And it's just, and for anyone that's bloody well interested, we also are having lonelyfans.com where you can subscribe to the channel. You can see lots of lonely people that have no friends, love in their life. And it's pretty much just titillating photos of lonely people, which includes women too, not just lonely men, sitting on the beds alone, looking at the wall with tears running down their face. Check it out, lonelyfans.com. And if you subscribe, you will get nothing because the site doesn't actually say.
And trust me, there's ladies.
Yes, there's a few ladies, I think. There is one lady, she's a maid, and she's not that attractive, but she's got a husky voice, but she works hard for the money, and you better treat her right. So
that makes sense.
But I love doing the show. It's been a long time.
Here's a question, though, by the way. What movie did we do after the video comp? So for the Video Makers comp with A Beautiful Day, what was the next project? Because I think that in regards to our friendship, I would just like to finish our timeline. If you think that's cool, because like I do, because we got some really cool stuff that all leads up to a feature film that's playing in Tokyo this summer.
Oh, it's very good. So what? Some of the first stuff we shot. Okay, so around that time, the Video Makers comp, Adam and I did that short. God, I need to read my message to you again because you said you couldn't read what I took the picture. Sorry, I need to resend that. Adam and I did a very short. It looks like a found footage zombie thing. I can't remember what it's called, but we did that.
Oh, what about 4 Dead? Are you talking about 4 Dead?
Oh, that was a little bit later.
Okay, that's later.
Yeah, so Adam and I did a very short zombie where the guy goes to the park. Oh, and we shot another one, which I can't find also. I actually directed it. It's about a guy that escapes from an asylum after killing a guard. He runs to the park, and then a zombie shows up and kills him. That's the end. So like Psycho Man versus Rotten Zombie Face or something. That's like some weird name. And for the life of it, we've lost a couple. The one that we were doing in Cheney that Adam was directing, can't find that. You guys ended up doing Late, which
that was at like the house that you eventually moved into. Yep, Late was fun. That actually that was fun to do, and that screened on public access cable. And I remember when I had earned my right of passage to be able to have stuff air on there as well as getting access to the equipment.
Okay.
That when they finally saw the results of what I was working on, they looked at me different after that.
You know what's cool about that is the fact that you did that and you inspired me because my friend Mike Raven and I ended up doing a public access show for Cox Cable. When they keep changing their name every century or whatever, but we did a public access show called The Outer Dimension, and not only did we get it on there, I actually had a guy come in and goes, "Here, I saw your show." Like one person watched it. I was at Merlin's one day, and this guy came up to me. He's like, "Yeah, I saw your show." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Well, we ended up getting it in a film festival that showed at the Fox Theater. I need to send you one of these. I actually found my folder with, I got an award, which kind of still to this day makes me a little bit sad. Mike did a lot of work on the show. He actually did the editing. I couldn't get a grip. I couldn't figure out how to do the editing at the station. So, but it just says director Charles F. Stiles. It's like, Mike actually did a lot. It wasn't just me, but they acted like it was my project. It was my idea to do a show. I actually looked into it, and we ended up taking a ride over there and looked into it. We took the class, but we quit. We ended up doing only one episode because the guy went on and on. You can't show this. You can't show that. You have to blur this out. And I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to do a show where I have to blur out everything. And it wasn't just censorship reasons or anything like that. It was predominantly because, you can't show this because it's something that's trademarked. I'm like, well, how about if we don't do a show at all? And I get up and walked out.
Yeah, I know. The difficulty is this, Charlie, is that the station will be held liable by that particular brand who comes after them and says, you can't be showing our stuff. And so that's the real reason.
10,000 people watching the show every week.
Well, I know it's Disney. Take Disney for instance. They're vindictive, dude.
They're horrid.
So I understand. All I'm saying is, again, I just kind of understand their viewpoint, but I get it. It makes it harder to kind of work within being just free and just doing what you want to do, or making the content that you really want to make.
There's something good out of all that. You know what it is? And I will say this on a positive note, the experience. It was worth the experience of doing that one episode. I actually just found the master tape, the VHS master tape. I'm so proud of it. I would love to re-release it and have people see it because we had so much fun. It's got a fake talk show we did where we making fun of the local scene with, elitist people and making fun of overrated bands and stuff. But anyways, there's a video by the Earwigs.
What's the name of it?
It's called The Outer Dimension. That was the show we did. In fact, you put it on the DVD-R for me years ago. It was like a 25-minute episode. And we shot so much stuff. We were up on the South Hill. I was wearing a George Bush mask, walking up and down the street, waving at cars while it was snowing. And then we did a rock talk with Rolf Rinkelstein. And Mike was so punk rock, he had pieces of a bike hanging around his neck because he's like, "Yeah, punk." And we were just making fun of elitist, snobby, closed-minded punk rock people. And I'm not saying they're all like that, but we kind of dealt with that crap out here a lot for the shows we did.
Yep.
Because we were punk. We were so punk though that people would actually leave the show and complain and sit outside and complain that we weren't punk. It's like, well, we must be because we're scared. I always
is that what happened to you and Mike at the show that we did in the basement of the Masons Lodge on the South Hill?
Holy smoke! Were you at that show? Was that the one?
Yeah, because the guy that was providing sound was
Yep.
What's his name from the used electronic music store?
Wait a second. You're not talking about the old Hoffman's Warehouse,
Yes.
are you?
I believe, yes.
That couldn't have been my old buddy. Oh my God. What is his name? He's a really brilliant guitarist. I wonder because he's been with Hoffman's for years. There's only one Hoffman's now. That warehouse closed down a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
But Hoffman's is still, in fact, I went there a while back and got a new cord for one of my beautiful old microphones, which I found out is from the 60s. I got a whole story about it. I'm like, oh my God, I got to tell you about it sometime. Oh man, I hate when I have brain farts right in the middle of an episode. But if it's a gentleman I'm thinking of, I don't know if you remember him. He has like a small beard, mustache, really dark hair, and always wears like a kind of not a cowboy hat, but like he wears a hat.
I don't remember. I don't think so. This might have been somebody else because this
so it's
place.
Like a sound guy that worked at Hoffman's.
No, I might. I think I'm not remembering this correct. He had a store that was next to like a block or two from the Pizza Pipeline that is on the north side, but not very far north. It is just across from Riverfront Park. It's like not far from there.
If this was a live stream, we could show a map, and I wouldn't know. It's
actually not far from Buckeye. I believe Buckeye is the cross street somehow.
The map would show like a line going, and then it would go over it and crash into the ocean.
Yeah, what sucks is I tried to look for the store on Google Maps, and I couldn't find it, so it definitely doesn't exist anymore. But I do remember going in there.
That used to be.
Yeah, so that guy was cool because he would come and help us. Like I mentioned that we're trying to do a show, and he said, I'll bring the PA. Because like I was buying keyboards and drum machines, and remember that giant mixer? That giant mixer?
That's
where I got
the
from.
Juno. It's, by the way.
Yes, that's where I got the Juno.
Key on it. So was that originally yours? And
yes,
you sold it to Adam?
I'm the one who bought it first.
Funny? I've had that for like 30 years. It's upstairs.
It's a Roland Juno 101, right?
Still works.
Yeah.
In fact, we got a cord for it, Adam, because I went and bought one for $40, and he goes, I can pay you back for it. It's the wrong cord. The guy goes, well, this is the correct one. In fact, that guy doesn't work there anymore. I just realized that guy doesn't work at Hoffman's. God, thank goodness. He was a butthole. But anyways, we got a thing so you can actually have like a beat going with a bass line, kind of syncopated.
Yeah.
Like 30 years later, we figured it out. But, yeah, that show, if you're talking about, it was like originally a firehouse?
Might have been.
Yeah, we had a few shows up there. We did that, but the one that you guys played at, and yes, folks, we are it's still in queue with everything here. The Westminster Church when Earthworm played that night, and then Marty Greco was doing that sensual
the breakdancing. Yep.
Oh God! And then you guys, I think the same night you followed him behind the building. Gee, where you follow me for?
I might have.
You were following him around. That was funny. I mean, it was like a mockumentary, like real. That wasn't even a mockumentary. It's like you're following this very interesting dude.
So, who are you talking about right now? Because the listeners have no idea. You're mentioning Marty. Who is this?
He passed away a couple years ago. Marty Greco, local legend. Whether you love him or hate him or don't care. He was a character, and he started showing up because he was just really obnoxious. When you hear the word sex offender, a lot of people automatically think, oh, rapist. He wasn't that. He was just really inappropriate.
He was a harasser, dude. He was a harasser.
Yeah, he would harass people. He was very
He wouldn't just harass people. He would harass young underage men.
Yeah, it was always underage guys and like 15-year-old guys. He would harass them a lot. He actually harassed me for years. In fact, I worked with him at the community center. When I saw him, oh, God, no, not him again. And he was always talking to me and trying to hit on me.
Could you describe his physicality again? What did he look like?
He was short.
Like short, like how short? Like what? 5 foot? Like
probably
5?
4 foot tall. Maybe a little bit tall. I mean, he wasn't like Time Bandit size, but he was short. He's just like not small enough where he could beat him up and get gold out of his, steal gold from him. But he was kind of short. He had a large round head. He talked out of the side of his mouth, which people make fun of him. That's not really nice because he actually had a stroke as a child.
Whoa, that's what it was?
It wasn't a stroke of luck or a stroke of genius. It was literally a stroke.
Oh, nice.
But
untung.
But he, and I tried to be cool with him, but he started showing up at Food Not Bombs. He'd show up at punk shows. People were like, dude, because he said, I feel like an outsider. And one day he did say this. He says, you guys are all cool. You're a bunch of good punk rockers, and thanks for accepting me. Unfortunately, he started in on his crap again, like, hitting on people and just being really crude. And he actually, my friend Mike from Ataxia was doing a show one night. We had a noise show at the church a long time ago, like 97, I think. And he had him as a guest doing like a song with him. And then he started trying to take over, and he's like, dude, I just had you as a guest on one song. And he made a big scene, and he told us all to blank off, and he walked out. And,
whoa.
But we're like, what are you doing? This is Mike's band. You know what I mean? He was just trying to basically hog up it. And Mike, and it was actually funny. And I have it on audio tape.
Whoa. That's
my
rare.
set was terrible, though. I was obsessed with the film Event Horizon, and all I had was like the Juno, and it was like basically one layer of like, hear this weird buzzing sound, and there were samples from the movie playing during it. And
oh, cool.
And then you hear one little vocals. It came out really cool, but what's weird is the process of the recording. You couldn't really hear the audience. It was almost like a direct line. You could hear a slight.
So was Marty out of the building when you were performing?
Yeah, he ended up leaving. I think I played last.
How did you meet him again?
Okay, so years ago, Adam and I are at the library downtown, and this guy walks right up to us, and immediately I'm gonna get this vibe from a guy, like a bad vibe. I'm like, what in the world is this guy? He's this odd looking guy, comes up to you, you talk like this. I thought, like,
and that's because again the stroke, right? So now
he also sounded like an old man, and the funny thing is, even when he passed away, he's only like a couple of years younger than me. I think he was probably like 52 when he died.
Yeah.
But he was a character. I mean, I could walk around. Okay, sorry. To the point real fast. Sorry. He comes up to us, and because Adam and I are hanging out, he goes, how's it going? And we're talking to him a little bit, and then he goes, are either one of you bisexual? And I said, nope. And Adam goes, I consider myself open-minded. So he completely ignored me, dropped in front of me, and goes, you interwished me. And unfortunately, what led to that is we knew Marty for years. Adam and I, the house that you were at when you moved out. So Adam had the bright idea of trying to be a nice guy, and I get it. He gave Marty our number.
Can you be before you get there? Because I got to tell my Marty story. Because you met him, and then for me, I met him randomly too, by the way, at the Fox Theater back when it was a dollar theater. Yep, and the stores that were out front surrounding it had different things. One of them was a coffee shop. So I was in there getting an espresso or like a mocha or something. And this is like sunset, and I think it is probably fall, and it's like 6 or 7, somewhere in there. Anyway.
Was that Java
Oh my God, I just did that. Anyway, it might have been, but I was outside of it holding my coffee, and I hear from behind, excuse me. And then I'm like, oh my God. And I turn around, and then he's like, he just like cuts right to the chase. By any chance, do you happen to be bisexual? And it's just like, wow, like this guy is direct. He's like,
that's what people, that's true about Marty. He was a very direct person.
My God, was he ever? And I don't think I was rude to him, but I basically indicated I was not. But I wasn't rude about it. So, but yeah, that's how I met him. And so that's when I was like, oh, who is this cat? And wanted to know more, and then learned exactly everything that you're saying. He wore glasses, talked out of the side of his mouth, and he sounded
he wore
like
a Gilligan hat too.
Oh, he did? That's right, he did.
He wore a little hat. This is the thing that we always kind of made a joke out of, and I've sometimes thought about, actually, you're inspiring me now, remembering I was thinking about drawing a comic loosely based on him. He would carry around a huge, what do you call that? Like a cooler.
Okay.
And I suspected that it had body parts like genitals in it of his victims.
Good God.
And yeah, I don't know why, but he carried around a cooler. Maybe it's because I get your head and get a cool off with some nice refreshing ice in my box. Ooh. But he wore like this little. I always thought of Gilligan from Gilligan's Island. It like wasn't a sailor hat, but it was like a goofy little. I don't know, what do you call it? What do you call those goofy like Kango? Kind of like a Kango hat.
Okay, so
Like,
that's
like
interesting.
DJs wear sometimes.
So he was a breakdancer.
Actually,
he was, because he was. We have video of him breakdancing at our performance.
Make the connection. Yeah, the hat he wore, and then that. I've shown that video to other people, and they're like, "Oh my god, they think it's great."
What about the? I also captured footage of him. I was shooting downtown Spokane.
Yeah,
with some friends, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Don't turn around. Here comes Marty." And I'm like, "Of course I'm going to turn around." He's like, "Ooh, what you guys doing?" God. So I got footage of him, just randomly walking by and talking to us, and us moving on. But yeah, quite a character, by the way.
I got to say this on the subject of Marty. I really want to release this one day. I have the master videotape, I believe, upstairs. I back then was really mad when it happened. So anyways, I played a show one night, and it was one of the most haphazard shows. So it was me and Adam, and then my friend Sean from several different noise bands. When he lived in Spokane, he had his amps and gear set up across the floor, like 20 feet away, and then Adam and I had stuff set up on the other side, right? So I asked this guy, who at the time was a total drunk. He's since chilled out big time. I'm so happy. I haven't seen him in years, but he chilled out. He got off the drugs and alcohol, which is great. Anyways, I asked him, his name was Corey. I said, "Hey man, I had you remember my oversized VHS camera I used to have?"
Yeah.
I brought it there. I had my $45 battery and it all charged up.
Wait,
I'm like,
was that a Panasonic AG195 camera?
I'm pretty sure it was a Panasonic. I don't remember the brand, but it was huge. You had to put a VHS tape.
I know, because I bought a Panasonic AG195 video camera when I was living in Colorado, and I had it as part of my system, and maybe I sold it to you.
Oh, that was when I bought it at a pawn shop.
Oh, okay. So then there's, because and by the way, I have to explain to the audience, the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of the gear I've either sold or just given to you, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of those, and had them for a while. I don't know what to do with them. I've been finding tapes lately too. I don't know what's on them, but I've been finding random tapes, like 8. What do you call it? What was the one camera one I had for a while? It was really nice. It was more up.
It's a high 8.
Yep. Yeah, I found a high 8 tape. I found some smaller tapes. There might even be Dr. Butcher Bloodface on one of them, but I swear I sent that to you once. It was a short that Jared and I were doing, based on a killer whose face always has blood all over it. And he's a madman. And it might be on one of those, but for some dumb reason, I never marked the tapes.
Uh-oh.
So it's kind of like the horror movie VHS. You put them in and, something bad on here. But, yeah, that camera that I had was so cool. Well, I asked my buddy, could you film the show? Film the earwigs, focus on the earwigs, keep going back and forth, because not just me, but Sean over on the other side of the floor. We had all the lights off too, which is really weird. Anyways, he spent most of the time following Marty around. And there was a light on the camera, so all you see is it looks like the Marty Witch Project. And literally, check this out, the best scene in there, and I want to put it on someday. It's got to be, if High Power Mutant comes out again, maybe put that footage on there. Because I have the master tape, like I said. He's following around, and then all of a sudden, he turns around and he goes, "Why are you following me for?" And he's like, "Because you're interested." He goes, and then he looks and he goes, "No, you like caught the earwigs. You got to stuff some in your ears so you don't hear this horrible sound." And I'm in the background. You can hear me go, like he was not even filming the bands. He just kept. So it's like, what the heck is this? This is an earwig show. So if that ever came out,
that's a great music video right there.
Yeah, it's literally Tim. It sounds like the end of the earth. You hear all these drum machine going and all this noise, and then you hear you know what? And be like, coming soon, the new album by the Earwigs. It's kind of like the Pill sessions. It's the Greco sessions. But it was so funny, and I was so mad for years. damn it. I wanted the ear, and you do see sometimes you see parts of the earwigs, but it was mainly just Marty. And I don't know, that might be on that unorganized because you, like I said, you made me a DVD art. I have the master tape upstairs too, and a homemade cover I drew for it. And it was like 4 hours of crap. I mean, it's got so much bad home footage. There's like footage of me talking about, hello, my name is Charles Bizarre, and this is the Xenomorph comic book. And I'm sitting in this really messy room. It's like all this crap. It looks like it's outtakes from Gummo.
Oh, nice.
With this like white trash, and I'm not insult myself. It looks like some white trash guy sitting in this really messy room with all these homemade posters on his wall talking about, hi, oh no, the unorganized VHS compilation. It was so bad. You know what? You got to start somewhere. And for the record, I have no shame of recording total garbage back then and then whatever I do now, which, anyways, yeah, man, good times.
Yeah, so lots of fun Marty Greco stuff and lots of us making movies, all from Benny and Joon, and we've done a lot of movies, and then which led us right into just as the movie you mentioned earlier, which is one of your greatest, is New Wave Zombies, which was shot in and around Spokane. And I think we should probably mention. Sorry, you're going to talk a little bit about that in some of our other movies, and then probably call it a day for the podcast, right?
Oh, that'd be great. Hey, I want to say, okay. The whole New Wave Zombies thing was also kind of like a magical thing, just like, us, meeting at Benny and Joon. Oh, boy. Anyways, I still remember you actually called me one day, or you might have been an email. It was like way back. Bizarre Alien at yahoo.com, which has been dead for years. But you got hold of me, and you're like, hey, dude, what would you really like to do? And I said, I would really like to make a movie. So you're like, okay. And I mean, it was like almost instant. I was like, what do I really? And you're like, I want to help you make your dream come true. And I was going to make a joke saying, yeah, we ended up shooting a new remake of Finder of Lost Loves. Yeah, that would have been, nope. Anyways, so I said, I want to make a movie. And I had an idea for it. Hanging out with Wayne one day, my best friend at the time. And holy smoke, I had an idea for a movie. So you're like, send me the script. And I did. Whoa, are you okay there?
Wow, I can't believe that bled through. I'm sneezing. I'm putting it on mute, and it bled through.
Oh, geez. Well, wow.
Yeah, they're intense sneezes.
Wow. Sounds like a grindcore band. But so I sent you the script, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to come out here in about 2 weeks, and you did. And what's crazy is, well, no, the night before you came to Spokane, I found out there was going to be a thing called a zombie walk. I clearly remember. So I was up on the 10th floor at the Washington Trust Bank building, and all of a sudden it hit me, wait, what if we could get footage? Because I was thinking, how are we going to get all these people to play zombies? You ended up making a call. You called the organizer, and long story short, you got to shoot a lot of stuff. And then the next day we hung out for like 10 hours. I remember it was like 10 hours, and the makeup took a while, but we shot it in that house that George and his wife, I think they ended up getting married, but his father-in-law, her dad, and I, to this day, and what's incredible about New Wave Zombies is it came out, and I honestly felt like it was never finished, right? So a few years later, you and I talked about it. And lo and behold, what we do, we shot more footage. We got a few more people involved. And I got to tell you, Tim, all the stuff we added, I will say this. I want Adam to know this. I already told him on the phone. He did a beautiful job editing that. He said, I don't think I did a good job. Like, yes, you did. For a guy that claims he's never edited before, everybody came together on Darren doing the puppetry of Son of Geen, you doing the camera work and kind of the directing, and me trying not to laugh, or you making you guys laugh, like when I said the name of my character, which you had no clue that, when I said the name, which now I'm having a brain fart, like, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. You're watching CATT News. I'm your host here. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot my character's name. But you could hear somebody in the background, like kind of like trying not to laugh. Oh, and we had Brandon, the paranormal ghost hunter guy. He was doing sound. I gotta tell you,
you had a lot of people show up for that one. You had the newscaster. I forgot her name.
Yeah, I didn't even know
she
her.
was hilarious. You had John playing the drunk. Well, you had John not just playing a drunk, but you had him playing that whole character in the house that you mentioned, which was awesome. We had that location because it was
he played
multiple apartments and the whole building we had access to film in all day long.
Like, do what you want to do because he was going to renovate it. I mean, how cool is that? There's been a lot of low budget movies where people have let them. They're like, we're going to blow the building up. Like, well, can we rent it? You know, like when they did I Drink Your Blood, they're going to tear down this big old, like a hotel or something. And they said, listen, we'll pay you some money if we can, use it. And they said, okay, you got 2 weeks.
That's great.
And they shot the film and like, holy smoke. You know what I mean? And I, to this day, I've probably said this 100 times. I'm so proud of this movie. If I passed away, whatever, I would be so proud knowing that I was part of that you used. There's a little bit of things changed in the script. Like Adam changed a few things, which at the time kind of annoyed me, but now it doesn't. But that was a long time ago because I think I was being a little selfish. So it was my idea in my movie. But thing is, it's not just my movie. It's everybody's movie. And I love the stupid introduction with Mike and I like, hi, I'm Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah, and then I got to play the character in the opening who is the first infected, who's watching the comet or your missile or whatever being launched in through the atmosphere.
The Evil Dead scene.
Yep.
I love it. The way and then you did that with me with the camera on my back. Oh yeah, that's right. That was me at the very beginning walking.
Yep, and which looked really awesome.
You're in the woods like, what's this? You have place bang. The thing is, what I love about that movie is it captures my comics so well. It's sarcastic. There's black humor in it. I mean, what zombie movie are you going to watch where a guy's in the kitchen, a zombie's walking up to him, then it pauses, takes a sip of pop, and then it attacks the guy?
It's ridiculous, and that's the most fun with it.
It was made up on the spot, and I will say this: everybody listening to this fun episode, this revealing episode, I one day, no joke, would really like to do a continuation because it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, totally. It totally needs a continuation.
I talked to my brother. He said he'd be in it. Both my brothers said they'd be in it.
So what was the movie made then? I'm sorry. What was the movie made after New Wave Zombies?
Oh, shootsy grooves. I think it was Die Hard 5. And we couldn't get Bruce Willis in it, so we got I can't remember who she was, but we get that one lady that plays, her name is, we called her Blues.
Oh wait. Was that because we were doing the High Powered Mutant documentary, and we also did that short.
Sorry, Die Hard.
We did that short 12. Comedy with you as like the Batman character or the time traveling.
Oh, okay.
Batman.
I'm joking. Really, it's a joke. Yeah, we did. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm in brain farts. It's like my friend Bloody says when he does an episode of a show, he always tries to have notes ahead, but it's like whatever makes it fun. Shaolin Geist Primitive. Oh, that's a song title. So yeah, it was a parody homage tribute to Shaolin Arts of Snake and Crane, or is it Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin? The Jackie Chan movie that you and I both absolutely, at least I still love to this day.
Yes, I do.
Hey, brother.
Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin.
We're famous. So it was like a short, kind of semi-sci-fi parody of the very beginning of a very beloved, at least in years of my circle, of a Jackie Chan film that came out in the end of the 70s, I think, or maybe early 80s, beginning of the 80s. And I play a really ridiculous looking character. My hair was bleached at the time.
What did we call again? Space?
Wasn't it like the Space Master?
Space Master.
And I happen to have in my hands a device that I can't remember. It's like a teleportation device. Like, hey, wait there, you've got it. You know it's good.
That was fun.
That was so fun. I watched that one once while I laughed. So we did that.
Because Jared's in that too. Your current roommate.
He played the Michael Jackson type character. And then you played you're the evil Chinese guy, and then George played the hairy chef.
Yes.
And you guys, oh my God, take after take. To this day, Jarrett still talks about it. He's like, I thought I was going to, we about fell down those stairs. And I was like, I didn't. I was just sitting on a rock.
That was fun to do.
Oh my God. So we shot that. And then I started shooting my own, but my own version of Shisley Grark, which, yes, will be finished. I know. It will, people.
Yours is essentially the prequel. So out of that, I'm sorry.
That was around the time we shot our comedy, which we only did the pilot called Gayfeld.
Oh yeah, which has not. We have the raw footage, but it's not finished as far as editing.
And hopefully you have my song for it, because that's all that I think you needed was the song.
I think that it was, it's a really short. When we say an episode, we're talking really just a short film. It's like 2 to 3 minutes, if that. Because we didn't do a lot for it. We just did a few scenes, and the scene essentially was you. Could you describe the scene?
Okay, so basically it's these two guys, and one guy's divorced, the other guy's just a lonely, weird jerk, and they're trying to figure out a way to save money. So they pretend that they're a gay couple, and they get a deal on rent a house. And they're watching a gay porn to try to hey, if we're going to pretend to be gay, and the thing is, I'm sure some people out there would be offended, but it's a joke. It's a comedy, and it's sarcastic. And it was kind of a play on the words of Seinfeld. But it's like, I used to joke because I used to hate Seinfeld. Now I like it, but I used to call it Gayfeld. People get dumb, like, oh, this is gay, that's gay. And I do think it's dumb to keep using that to describe stuff. But it's a joke, really. It's a joke. But we ended up shooting this, and we were all in pain. We had a hard time trying not to laugh, because Mike and I ended up doing the audio. It was supposed to be they're watching a film. And he's like, hey, I got a deal on this. I can't remember if the guy shows up to fix their sink. He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, dang it. And it's like heavy grunting. And I remember all three of us. And I think Adam and George, they were all in the background trying not to laugh. But
so that was being shot. That exists. So again, we just have the raw, but that was when we were shooting For Dead. That's when we were shooting For Dead.
Yeah, and at the same time, that was the cabinet you guys. Yeah, because you guys had shot For Dead. I think you had shot that before, and then we went over there and stayed the night. And then we also, and I know what you're leading to, and that's what's leading to, we were standing by on the dock over the bay, and there's a little cat sitting by the water. And all of a sudden, I just, seriously, out of nowhere, I say, all right, you remember. And I came up with this concept, because I was like, it looked like, reminded me of this really great documentary, which you can call it a mockumentary, but it's not a comedy, so I don't even call it. It's based on something that may or may not be real. Anyways, really kick-ass film called Mysterious Monsters, hosted by Peter Graves, about Bigfoot, all that cool stuff. Anyways, I started doing it. You're like, whoa, dude. And you had your camera, and you're like, do that again. You filmed it. And I had described this monster, and it just came out perfectly, man. Because the way you zoomed in on the cat, there was a little cat licking water off the lake or whatever.
Yeah, that video got us a lot of views.
It came out so well, and then all of a sudden, boom! I'm like, this would be cool as like a movie. And since then, there's been, I've done a lot of artwork. I need to get more art to you to show it to you, but I've drawn a lot of. I just thought the idea was ridiculous. Like, what are two ferocious creatures, a gray white shark and a grizzly bear? What if they were like fused somehow, like as a DNA? And we shot that very short comedy video, which I think, well, we got to give credit to Rob Reiner and the crew, because that was definitely mockumentary material.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
And we ended up going crazy, because that was also the time we were working. I mean, we were shooting so much stuff, man. Up until we didn't do anything, we worked on that documentary for 17
Which
years.
Is there? It's assembled. It's just in 4 parts. It's online. It's on YouTube. It's actually on your YouTube channel for your podcast, Beyond the Podcast in 1984. So if you guys look it up, you can find High Powered Mutant the documentary on Bizarre Charlie Alien.
Yeah, you can see me when I
and
was
there's part 1
smooth-shaved
through part
lad.
4, and they're like 15 minutes each, so it's like an hour-long doc.
And I was like a smooth-shaved lad. And I'm really hoping one day, and I got to say this, I think I already mentioned this to you last time we talked, but I would love one day to continue, like, kind of update, because right now I look like a Sasquatch.
Oh, nice.
I haven't shaved in like 6 years, and, you know, a lot of updates. Like, since that film, I still hang out with my dad once in a while, my family, still doing my band almost 36 years later, still haven't met my dream lady. Still a slob, and I'm still doing stuff. I'm still here, man. I'm still here. But that was such an honor. The day you called me, like, hey, man, who would you like to do a documentary about? I had to mention Jarrett, and you're like, well, I like Jarrett, but I don't, I wouldn't want to. And I'm like, what about you? And I'm like, what? And you literally showed up like a couple weeks later, and it was so crazy. I think. Could be wrong.
I've always been that guy who's had the camera, because in the 90s I always had a camera with me. I remember that I would kind of annoy my friends because I'd literally take it everywhere. We're going to the grocery store to get cigarettes. Oh, fine, I'm gonna shoot it, and I would put different angles and follow people into the store, and then get creative with like the cashier and how they're scanning the cigarette pack or whatever, and then. Waiting to have you answer your door at your apartment. I was like, oh, well, he's not answering. Let's go ahead and turn this into a video. So I was like, turn that into a short, went to Rosar's, bought something, and came back. It's still knocking. And then eventually Adam answers the door. He's like, yeah, the door jugs. You know
what's funny? I remember that video. Yeah. And then you ended up not too long later. And it's weird because this is way, way, way before the documentary. This is like 95, because we started shooting a documentary, believe it or not, in like 2000. No, okay,
2005.
Wait, yeah, 2005, and it was for like 17 years, and then all of a sudden, suddenly, as if a voice cried out, and there was nothing, But yeah, you filmed me, and God, that was funny. Oh, yes, I'm the janitor of the Shaolin Temple, and like, what the?
That's right.
And you got this footage, and you ended up putting it in the documentary.
Yeah.
And it came out really funny because I had asked permission, and they said, "Oh yeah, they let you come into the store and film me."
Yeah, but you can't do that now. What I remember in the 90s, one instance where I was going into a newer grocery store on the South Hill, and they told me I could not be recording, and they told me, of course, because there's a bank, and I'm like, oh, all right.
Well, you were going to rob it, so
yeah.
What's the worry?
But so that being said, we've always been creative doing short films and music and whatnot. Yeah. And you were making comic books, and you still make comic books. And then we had the Shisley Guark evolve to where in 2023 we released a feature film called The Shisley Guark, and it actually won an award at the Carp Diem Film Festival. It got Best Independent Feature Film.
That's awesome.
And then it is actually streaming. So if you go on Roku and you go to F Awesome or Fossum, and that's just FAWESOME TV, which is a free streaming network. You can find the Shisley Guark there, where Charlie plays a character called Noel Apache, which is a half wolf man, and it's a fun cast of characters. And just actually recently, we had a film festival called the Tokyo International Film Festival, or Tokyo International Shark Film Festival, reach out and say, hey, we want to screen your movie in Tokyo on August 1st. So the Shisley Guark was actually screening on August 1st in Tokyo.
Okay, so it's okay. I was trying to remember when. I thought at first, because I didn't want to interrupt you, be rude. I wasn't sure if did it already happen? Okay, wow. And you know what's weird about that? That's when my band is 36 years old too.
Whoa! Wow, great timing.
And the Shisley Guark will be coming out. I'll play an anniversary show, and you know what the anniversary show would be?
What?
Here is the year we celebrating 36 years. It's me just like laying in my bed asleep because I got my show canceled.
Well, that being said, with the Shisley Guark, it's still out there again for people to see on Roku if you want to find it. But you are also working on a prequel.
Yes, and because I'm a slowpoke, got most of it. All I have to do is I talked to the gentleman. He's a very famous luchador that no one's ever heard of. He's going to be in it.
Cool.
And I mean, the selection of masks I've got here to let him borrow and let him pick which one he thinks fits his character. He is a professional. He'll be talking about his frightening incident. And then, a few shots here and there, like, the Shisley Grark, like seeing his fin and that, is he real or not? Is it real? Is it we don't even know if Shisley Grark could be a lady. That's one thing I don't think anyone's explored that possibility.
That's true. Good point.
It could be a hermaphrodite.
Good point.
Could be just like doesn't care and just wants to be left alone, but it's like, hey, listen, I'm going to screw you up. I'm going to take one of your limbs. Maybe the Chris Shisley Grark's building a statue out of all the... So you think what happens to all their limbs?
Great question. I don't know. What does happen?
It's a legend, and people need to know about it. It's a Northwest legend because I don't think it's ever been seen in Alaska, although it might have relatives. But that's one thing that will be explored a little bit in the prequel. So you can watch the first one. You watch Mr. Matson's version, or you can watch my version. But they're universal. In fact, one day in the future, I would love to make another kind of Shisley Grark, but make it like a movie, because they did that with the Blair Witch Project, which I guess kind of failed. But I still think it's interesting. You can have different types of medium with characters.
Yep.
I mean, who knows? Maybe one day a Shisley Grark board game.
That'd be cool.
Escape from Shisley Grark.
Escape from the Shisley Grark.
Starring Kurt Russell as Matilda Jones. Well, seems to me that this creature's really big. No doubt. I don't like that band very much. What? You said no doubt. Well, no doubt that the creature exists. Oh, I like shoes. I wear them. Something like that. Anyways, you know what? I thank everybody for listening to the show, and this has been really fun. And hey, like I said, I'm not trashing on Benny and Joon, although maybe I am. I've never watched it. Will I watch it? Maybe I will one day. Maybe I'll even talk about it in a future episode. But for the time being, nope.
Well, here's, I guess, now that we're seemingly near the end of the show, right? What is it you're working on right now? I guess we should probably just say we're still friends and still working on stuff. What are you working on?
You caught me on something, buddy, and I don't think that's an insult. You're right. The whole being direction and stuff. So for the last near 2 years, I've been doing comic books again. I've done 4 comic books, and I'm currently very slowly forced myself to get out of my rut. I've got comics that I did like about 6 years ago, and I'm going over them, detailing them, shading, doing all the detail stuff to make them look a little bit better. And that'll be that next project. And what's going on is I'm supposed to be getting a laser printer for my birthday next month. And I'm going to be, because I will finally be able to make as many copies as I want at my leisure. I don't have to worry about censorship. I don't have to worry about trying to get rights to a copy shop, which is out in the middle of nowhere. Basically I have full control, and I'll really be able to get back into it. I'm even considering maybe re-releasing some of my old comics and stuff too, and I'm going to put together some art zines. But it's something I really want to do, and my brother is helping me with that because he's just an awesome dude. Awesome. And it's something that I pretty much wouldn't mind doing for the rest of my existence, is doing comics, because I've been drawing since I was a kid, and I've got art by friends that are long gone now that I would love to do something with. And I'm planning on putting out a comic book by my little brother.
Oh, cool.
Who also is he's an amazing artist. And I have a lot of his old letters, because we used to be pen pals for a few years. And unfortunately, he had a comic book he was working on. It was really cool. It was actually done. Someone stole it out of his locker. I mean, this is high school, like 20 years ago. So anyways, I'm hoping that maybe helping him will inspire him to maybe get back into drawing comics again. But I have a lot of I have comics and stuff. He used to send me the originals. So I'm not going to do this as a full-fledged, oh man, it's a business, but it's something I really want to do because it's something that I don't need help from anybody, because, I have a very vivid imagination, and that's what I want to keep doing. And I've got plans for lots of comics. Even one day I'm thinking about doing a New Wave Zombies comic.
Oh, cool.
And I'd love to do a Shisley Grark. That could happen or something. But anyways, so that's what I've been mainly doing.
But we are, you and I, still open to making more content as well. Because, like, you know, who knows? If I lived next to you, I live, you know, on the East Coast, and you live on
We'd
the
go
West
nuts.
Coast there. So if we were closer, we would probably be doing a lot more often.
We'd
Because
be
we
doing-
did, we
yeah,
did back in the day.
we were kind of like John Woo and China and Fat, or Tim Burton and let's bring him up, Johnny Depp.
Yep.
I mean, I've been told that I look a lot like, you know, we look like Tim Burton and Johnny Depp.
You look exactly like Johnny Depp.
I mean, I play guitar, so, you know, and stuff. I own a pocket watch.
Well, hey, man.
Those ads for like that fancy watch, and he's like playing the guitar in it.
Oh, yeah, yes.
It's like, hi, you can be like this guy. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. 21 Jump Street.
Hey, you want to wear a watch? I loved him, by the way, in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I thought he did an amazing job.
Why did we not even mention that?
That role. He gave all for that. He just you could tell that he loved his subject matter.
That right there and Dead Man are like my two absolute favorite Johnny Depp films.
You got it. Those two are my favorite for sure, hands down.
I can't remember who I was talking to recently. I got to say this real fast, and then I'll shut it up. But
and by the way, I also have to mention High Powered Mutant. Of course, this is where it's curbed from. But yeah, so ultimately, I would really just like to pick up for High Powered Mutant. So it would be great to get a budget and continue on that project, and maybe just do a larger cinematic documentary release for High Powered Mutant. We'd probably call it something else, but it was fun calling it what it was.
Maybe it's like now AKA low powered guy. Because even Adam said that one time, he goes, "Yeah, kind of low powered mutant." I go, yeah. That's the thing too that I would love to talk about too, is like with my health issues the last few years, and just it's so funny, but that's how life goes sometimes. But you know what?
It's age,
still
man.
Going, and
it's the only guarantee is a ticket in and a ticket out.
But that's what I love about documentaries. I mean, I think what fueled the whole thing in the beginning was American Movie.
Yeah. Yep.
And that is still. I
movie.
actually am friends with Mark Borchardt on Facebook. I don't hear from him very much, but he's an interesting guy. He's still really creative. He's mainly involved with like plays and stuff now, but I guess his daughter's an actress now.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, man.
Hey, I just want to say thank you for having me as a guest on season 3, episode 1. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad to have you and finally get this all out. And if people like Benny and Joon, well, I hope they do.
Do you have any guests lined up later this season? Yeah, because I do know that our friend Jurgen said he's interested in speaking with you.
I'd love to talk to him. And
what about other episodes?
I'd still like to do an episode with Adam too, because he's done some really interesting stuff. I'd like to talk about his bands and how he was kind of a loner guy over in Moscow, Idaho, doing his band and stuff. Well,
what's his band name?
Oh, when he used to do Moth. Cool. Remember when Adam did Moth way back? But he lived over in Moscow, and the guy Jack, rest in peace, but. RPM Records let him have his own little section at the store. And he's told me some hilarious stories. Plus just, I don't know, stuff that maybe Adam could talk about that maybe, we could lead to that, because he's had some interesting stuff happen. And then, it's like, where did the whole seduce yourself thing come from?
And also he's friends with Stephanie.
Oh yeah. We could talk about her, because, I think it'd be fun, but yeah, I definitely, like I was saying, and it's no offense, I like doing episodes by myself, but I also like doing episodes with you. I definitely got the one that I want to do that I've been wanting to do for a long, long time is my one called the WTF Zombies episode.
That sounds fun.
That one, I actually am doing research on it, but I want to talk about these zombie movies that defy the genre and how hilariously weird they are. And also it will lead to how it led to me thinking of new wave zombies.
Oh, cool.
Because to me, new wave zombies fits in that genre of what the hell am I watching? I mean, all inspired by the legendary Night of the Living Dead, which is still, I love that movie so much. But and Romero will always be a king. But
for sure, 100.
The inspiration of these ridiculous zombie movies that some people won't even watch because like that sounds terrible. Like, well, you're missing out on some fun. And would be just be fun. But yeah, a lot of different episodes. I want to do a one. I related a story about going to Rudy Ray Moore, aka Dolomite's funeral, and I told my buddy about it. He's like, dude, you should do a podcast about that. And I want to do a full episode because.
Is there any way we could bring in somebody who's still in that Rudy Ray's network, or somebody that we could bring in? Rudy Ray Moore, that is?
I almost wish I was still friends with Mark Jason Murray. He was actually Rudy's biographer and his manager.
Oh.
We used to be friends on Facebook, and it was kind of like basically my fault to not just kind of dropped him off of there. It was dumb, but he just put out a book. I think it came out a year or two ago, and it looks beautiful. I really want to get it, but it's the official biography on Rudy Ray Moore's life, and it's a really beautiful looking book.
Oh, that's cool.
And I want to do an episode because it was just incredible. I couldn't believe, he had a funeral. He had 3 funerals, 3 states.
Whoa.
And I went to the one in Spokane up by SFCC. And I want to do an episode to talk about how I became a fan and what an inspiration he's been to me for comedy. And the guy was just wild and really amazing. And I think he had some secrets about him that I've been hearing more and more about. Not bad, but just, everybody's got little secrets that they don't want to share because they're afraid to admit who they are. But anyhow, yeah, I've got ideas for episodes, and I definitely, want to talk more about 90s stuff, like, all the crazy bands, like the whole, like talk about Pile of Eggs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And,
which you've talked about in past episodes.
Talk about anime and movies and all kinds of crazy stuff. I got all these ideas. But
I'm looking forward to the season, dude.
Well, thanks, buddy.
And I'm also looking forward to making some more movies and, that kind of thing as well.
And you know what? I wish you the best, all you guys doing that werewolf movie. I think that's great.
Thank you. We're also, like I said, developing some other projects too. So we're just moving forward, and I'm about to shoot the short film.
You and I will get permission for John Carpenter. We'll do our own take on the thing. We'll do our own, like a spinoff. We'll do a spinoff of the thing, and he'll be our godfather. And just
I think that's cool, and I'm on board for that. But I'm also on board for doing something around They Live, because I feel like that hasn't really had enough done with it.
We'll do a split collaboration thing. So you'll help me with my take on the thing, right? My homage thing. And I'll play one of the actresses in the series that you'll do.
They Live, the series, yeah.
And I really think that you should find out. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to out you. I love saying I'm going to out you. I think you should look into it because I know how much I love the movie too. But I think you're an even bigger fan of the movie because it is a great film. I think you should look into it. And you know what, man? This is the thing: is life is too short. You should get hold of Carpenter, find out who do you talk to, and see if you could. I mean, get some.
Well, his wife, Sandy King Carpenter, likes our film Confined. She helps support us. So,
have you thought about just seriously get off your butt and say, "Hey, listen, I'm a big fan of They Live, and I, not only doing that, but a remake of Benny and Joon." But I bet if you talk, I bet you. Because that would be cool. That'd be interesting. Why hasn't it been done? Because, I don't know. And not like V or one of those.
No.
But I'd say maybe even what leads up to flashbacks, like how the aliens came to Earth. I mean, I would love.
Well, again, you could continue where basically the movie is the setup where Nada has broken the signal. Everybody realizes, oh God, there's aliens, but then the signal gets fixed again. Nada's already dead, so the movement's already been quashed, and now we need another moment for somebody else to rise up because it's gone back to normal. It's gone back to being under control of our alien overlords.
What if you did a special
and you
episode?
Could do that with Fox News, right?
Nowadays. By the way, I'm not joking. What if you did an episode where it was like a flashback, like maybe kind of going back, like one of the main characters is trapped or something, and all of a sudden they're going back, like what started it? Like,
well, you could eventually through the show like reveal bits and pieces that throw back. Yeah.
How do they show up? Which basically all they are is what? They're just evil bastards. They're an evil corporation.
They're multi-dimensional aliens.
They've probably done it to other planets. Yeah, in other dimensions, other planets. They're just basically they're you know what they are? They're a reflection of our country and like the government and evil like Fox News and these big ass evil corporations.
Yes, and so you're just using it as a vehicle to talk
aliens,
about that. Yeah,
so they got to pick on aliens. And, like, make them back.
Sorry. Poor Bizarre Charlie alien.
You know what's funny? Hey, I leave now. You ain't gonna see me no more. The bad guys leaving.
Well, we would have you on the show as a character, so that would be fun.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I could play the part because you didn't see him die. I could do my loving tribute to Buck Flower. Yeah. Yeah, these guys are real nice. Hey, you want to go to a party? Want some champagne? Remember him?
Yes.
And then they're about to catch him, and he goes, well, bye. I love that. That's like, he's one of my favorite acts. He was also in Escape from New York, but that'd be funny, like, do a little homage to, like, him. Like, he shows up, hey, you guys again?
He's in Back to the Future. Dude, that guy was in a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah, he's the bum who was on the bench.
What? Oh, okay.
Bench
you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I saw it once a long time ago.
Yeah, and then you just watch it as Rick and Morty now.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I told everybody. I said, you know what? All it is. I think I saw it at Greg. He actually admitted. I thought this was cool. He goes, I like Back to the Future. It's not a bad movie. I just don't think I go. I don't know. It's like they dragged them out, but I do like the first one.
I do too. I like the second one too because it's got some current thematic stuff in it as well.
They're not horrible movies, and I feel for that dude, Michael J. Fox, man.
Right?
Like, poor sweet
so
dude.
So sad.
That's another example. That's an example to go by. There's a dude that doesn't give up even though he's doing some serious stuff. And people that bitch about, I can't do anything. It's like, you know what? I'm dealing with stuff right now with the foreclosure on my house, and guess what? I'm not giving up. In fact, I got to make calls. I'm going to find out tomorrow what I could do because the 29th was the last day that the landlord could deal with the bank. So I'm calling them tomorrow. I'm kind of nervous thinking about it now, but they've been very nice to me, but I'm going to find out. So what can I do? Because I'm going to find out, did he give up the house or not? But anyways, that's the thing about life. You just move on. One problem at a time. Don't try to do it all at once and just figure it out. By the end of the day, you know what I mean? Get that weight. Because like I have to get stuff done because if I go to work and I'm thinking about it all night, I have a really hard time concentrating and I have a really hard time. And,
I totally get it. I have the same thing, but I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for, again, having me on the show. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for being on here.
Don't forget to go see Adam and get your comic books.
You've been listening to Season 3, Episode 1 of Beyond the Podcast of 1984. And we're here, and we will continue to be here. And thanks to everybody that supported the show. And so everybody, take care, stay weird, keep the filth, and keep watching the skies. And we'll be back again before too long. So have fun, and happy summer.
What is this?
It's Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Well? Oh.
It's just BCA.
Better not be. I warn you, for many years, I have been training as an acrobat. Know a lot of tricks.
Well, then show us on BTP1984.com.
Of course I wouldn't. Hey! Well.
BCA finds it very hilarious. Maybe you could tune in and listen to the show, BTP1984.com.
Sure. What do you think I am? A fake?
Are you a diehard fan of Beyond the Podcast of 1984? Do you want to show off your love for the podcast in style? Well, look no further. Introducing our exclusive podcast merch line. From t-shirts that will make you the envy of all your alien friends, to hats that will keep you looking freaky while repping your favorite podcast. We've got everything you need to take your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 fandom to the next level. So don't wait. Head to BTP1984.com now and grab yourself some podcast merch before it's all gone. And remember, wearing BCA's merch will automatically make you funnier and more attractive. Get your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 merch today and join BCA's podcast revolution.